All right. Well, first off, congratulations to Stanford and their coaching staff and their kids. They're a class act. People that I really appreciate the opportunity to compete against, and they're just good people. So they have a good team. I hate when seasons end for people. I mean, I'm glad we're advancing. Please don't misunderstand that. But I see those kids over there. It's hard. And so I just want to congratulate them. A great program, and they've had a great year. Very happy with our team and our performance. I can't say enough about these kids and what they just continue to do. They represent this school, this community, this state in the best way. They're great people, first and foremost. They care about this school. They care about this program. And so I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very honored to be their coach. But just another offensive game, which is what we needed, and what I'm just so proud of. They were having trouble throwing strikes. We were doing a great job of not swinging at balls. When you walk 11 times and get hit by a pitch a couple times, we only had 6 hits, but we had some hard outs. We had some things that happened. We had a lot of runners, and it just kept the pressure on them. Obviously, we had some big blows. Amanda had the day here today. It was really cool to see. I told her on the drive over here, I could see in her last at-bat that she was going to spray a ball down the right field line. I was going to send her because I wanted to see the cycle. I thought that would have been cool. But just the big blow there in the 5th. Just an absolute bomb. And then Claire, obviously, the bigger blow at the end of that inning, or another big blow that just kind of put the game out of reach. So just a really good performance. I'm proud of Ruby, the way she fought through this thing. And, again, goes 7, pitch count at 93. I mean, it's just efficient. I'm proud of her. She's grinding. We've had a lot of great pitchers in our history here. I got to think that she's cementing herself as one of our very best, and it's really cool to be a part of that. So I'll leave it at that.
Kenny, we've been talking pitching nonstop with you all season. What went into your pitching rotation today? And today, if you do what you want to do, might be the only time you really have a decision on how you're going to use pitchers.
Yeah, Carrie. Carrie's wants to have answers at nighttime. I don't always like to have answers at nighttime. She was wearing my phone out, and I kept dodging her calls. And so we finally talked about 9:30, and she just kind of walked me through some scenarios, and I just told her, I said, we're going with Ruby. That's what we're going to do. There's no need to even think about anything else. We're going to win the first game. That's what we got to go. That's the way that we've got to go. No disrespect to anybody else on our pitching staff, but I think if we didn't throw Ruby in the first game, these guys may have come after me. And so we did talk, though. We talked through a lot of stuff. I'm proud of her for making sure that I have all the right info. I'm not easy to always talk to, I'm sure, when I'm convicted of what I want to do. But she just kept on and just said, well, hey, look, let's just walk through this, and this. And I said, okay. I said, I'm just going to tell you, I want to go with Ruby, but let's talk this morning. I woke up extremely early, just doing yard work, cooking some bacon for my family. And I just called her and I said, hey, it's Ruby, and I'm done. So that's what we're gonna do. And she had already sent me a text that I didn't see that said, hey, I think we ought to go there. So it's kind of where it was. That's the long version of the story.
Claire, just on your home run, what did you see and how did it feel?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like that was the least that I was thinking in probably all my at-bats today. So that probably explains it. But I just saw a good pitch and just went for it, just trying to give my team a good lead.
When does that hit? Like when are you able to sort of appreciate that moment? When you come back and you're celebrating with your teammates, when you're back in the dugout? Now? An hour from now?
Kind of when it went over the fence. we all saw my first at bat, so that was bad. But kind of just being able to recover from that. So once it went over the fence, and just not my best offensive stuff this weekend, but I just felt relieved after. So
Does it? I have to imagine, like, it kind of feels better to end on that note, right?
yeah, it does much better than the beginning.
Amanda, did you think yours was going to stay fair?
I have a funny story. I was actually thinking about bat flipping, but I was like, that might be foul. That'll be really embarrassing if I do that. But I was watching it the whole time. I almost missed first base. So I didn't know if it was going to stay fair, and I was very glad that it did. But yeah.
How big was the bat flip going to be?
It wasn't going to be a flip. It was going to be more of a slam. I'll save it for another time.
Speaking of stories, is there a story behind the three? What's your number?
You can say it.
It's just an inside joke with the team. I'll keep it at that.
We'll start with both players. Kenny, I want to get your thoughts on this too, though. I mean, I don't remember if you had a fly ball hit to you on a day like this, though. Just dealing with the wind, as strong as it was. I mean, it was crazy up where we were. I don't know what it felt like on the field, but I mean, just staying focused and not, I mean, we saw players almost getting blown over. The Stanford pitcher almost fell. So, how difficult was that on a day like today?
Yeah, today was kind of brutal, but being here for the past 4 years, that's just kind of something that you have to deal with. It gets like that sometimes, but we just had to keep going. Can't do anything about it at all, so.
I mean, it's pretty much out of our control. There's nothing we can really do. I mean, I'm lucky enough that during defense I get to stay in the dugout. I'm kind of shielded, so I don't really have to deal with that. But, again, it's out of our control, and we kind of just do what we can to deal with that.
Question I wanted to ask you about.
It's my favorite days to work on fly ball communication. So, no, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I think that was an advantage for us here today. Nobody was talking about it. I'm sure they were, like, what the heck's going on here? All days were like this a little bit. Today had some bigger gusts, but I was getting peppered with stuff, and I just sitting there going, my gosh. And what's weird is at home plate, it feels like it's blowing in. So it swirls. So at home plate, it's not blowing like that. But once you get it up, then it just takes off. Like, I think that's what, I don't think her ball was hooking, but I didn't think it was going to be foul. I thought it was close without a doubt, but the way the wind got it and pushed it, it just kind of pushed it straight north. And I think that helped. So, it's just some interesting things. But, yeah, the wind's tough. This is a tough place. And with our baseball field being the debacle that is, and then you get all the dirt blowing over there, I don't know. Hopefully we can do something about that. It'd be nice.
And following up on that on Ruby's side of it, obviously when a routine fly ball might go out of the park or just trying to stay focused and throw strikes. Obviously, she didn't have any trouble with that today.
No, she's from the Midwest, from a flat state like ours. So I think she's grown up in this. No big deal. It's probably these guys that growing up on the coast that aren't used to this type of stuff. So, but once you've been here, it just is part of what we deal with here at times. So. I don't really think it affected the game, today. I don't think there were any cheap home runs. I mean, every home run on both sides were hit good. I thought their one yesterday was maybe a little bit windblown, but, I mean, she still hit it good. So it is what it is.
Kenny, y'all got Stanford here, and now you're seeing Nebraska in the Supers. When you're facing two teams in the postseason that you saw in the regular season, does that help a little with the scout?
It's going to help some, but, we're all different, we're different now than we were, and so are they, So, I tell you what I know our staff is thrilled about. There's only one team to scout for. It's a lot of work. When you're scouting for 3 teams this weekend and then trying to do your own stuff, it's tough, and you got to be prepared for all of them. We're getting to face another great team, and I voted them number one the last couple of weeks. I think they are that. They've been doing everything that they've been asked. They played as tough a schedule as anybody. I know their league may not be the highest rated league, but like they walked through that league, and they played the schedule in the beginning, and they came here when they didn't have to. You know what I mean? And they've done things and played well, and their staff is another great staff. I can't wait to go compete there. And I saw their games on TV, and man, the crowds look awesome. It's gonna be fun. Our girls will relish that. We can't wait.
Sort of along those lines, we previewed when we talked about the Stanford game. We talked about how you guys played them at the beginning of the year, and you mentioned it's a different team. I think you guys scored 2 runs against them in those 2 California games. Scored 18 runs these next 2 games. Is that just sort of an example of how much growing this team has done since the start of the year? Yeah,
I think this team is a much different team. I think we are a much different team than we started out at. I think if I go back and look at what I had, like when I looked back and saw the box scores and saw a little bit of our games, I was like, oh man, like we look way different. We look different as players and swing wise and pitching and defense. It just looks, it's nuts. So that's what's cool. And that's why you love coaching, because it's the journey, And, we left there kind of upset. We didn't play better. And now you look back, I would trade that every time to have this, right? And so that's the journey, and that's what I tell them. Hey, this is what it's all about, is like finishing like this and keep going. And so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how they are. And there's going to be a lot of storylines. Let's just put it like that, especially with Ruby and Jordy and that kind of stuff. And so it'll be and these are two programs that have had a lot of success. But don't get the credit that they deserve. So it'd be fun.
For both players, how important was the last game at Cowgirl Stadium to go out a winner? And did you soak in everything playing that last game there?
I think especially for the girls that have been here for 4 or 5 years, like Claire, I think it was important for us to end it with a bang, and I think we did just that. And I think just for everyone, like that's going to be our last game at Cowgirl Stadium for the year, and my last game there ever. I'm just now realizing, which is crazy to think about. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just so awesome that I get to have that memory of that being my last game there. And I guess it's not something we were thinking about, but I'm just glad that it ended that way.
Yeah, I'm really glad it ended that way. Lexi had said something pre-game. She was like, "This is the last one here," and I was like, "We'll make it a good one." So that was the best thing we could have asked for. It's been a really good 4 years here.
Can I ask you a couple weeks ago about the conference and sort of its advancements with the new people coming in? Arizona State won today, UCF won today, you guys advanced. Just sort of what does that say about where the Big 12 is headed in softball?
It's awesome. I think we got 4 teams in, right? We got 4 teams in, and we had a chance to have 6 here today. Baylor had a long shot, obviously, but we had 2 others that had a chance. Arizona lost? Okay. So, we've been the second RPI conference here for a long time, and nobody ever talks about that. They talk about how weak we are and different things, like that at times. I hear that rhetoric outside. And we're not. We haven't been. And what we're starting, to do is we're starting to convince other coaches in our league to go play a great schedule. Go play it. It got Baylor in. It was hard, but it got them in. And it's awesome. And it's I when we have those meetings, I sit there and when we talk about stuff, and I don't like looking at that schedule when have a little vacation time over the Christmas break, thinking about that. I'm like, what are we doing? And then every year we're sitting here, I'm like, that's why we're doing that. And so it's prepared us, and the moment's not too big for any of them. They've been in this moment so much and played on TV, and with all this hoopla that's going on around us, these guys just walk in each day and they're just normal, and that's why they're playing well at the right time.
Amanda, I asked you a couple days ago just about your visit during Supers a couple years ago, and how that sort of like motivated you and inspired you to come be a part of this program. How cool is it to be to win here with these girls, and also now to be going to Supers with them?
I mean, I have no words. Like, it's freaking awesome. And it's something I've dreamt of as a kid, is playing postseason, and to be able to do it with these girls who I have bonded with over the course of this whole year. It's awesome. Like, I have no other words, and I'm so grateful I get to make memories with these girls, and even off the field, like, I get to hang out with them even more. Like, now that our season is still going, like, I get to hang out with them for at least another week, and I think that's what helps me cherish this so much, is that we're such a tight-knit team that it just makes it that much better.
Was there any weirdness to, not that anybody made you feel weird, but obviously when you showed up, a lot of your teammates had experience in the World Series because this program had been there every year recently. Was there any part of that felt weird last year to not make it to Supers, not have a home regional, not have those shared experiences that maybe feels, maybe you don't, it doesn't feel weird now because now you've had that with them?
Well, I think last year it was kind of like I felt it amongst everyone, and I felt it too, like losing the way that we did, it hurt. And I think with this year being able to host and being able to go to super regionals, like, I get to feel this amongst everyone who's been to the World Series and who's been there, and I'm just grateful I get to.
Anything else you want to see?
Kenny, sorry, just one question. Yeah. Do you think, obviously you have a good mix. You have some that have experience that made it to World Series. You have a lot of girls that haven't been there before. Do you think it helps to have a good mix? Like, does it help to have experience of when you get to this part of the season, or does it help to maybe have girls that haven't been there that this is all they've been dreaming of?
Yeah, I think it's good to have both, to be very honest. Experience is good, but sometimes when these older kids get in this moment, they can press because they just want to do it again, right? And we need to. This team has done a good job of not thinking about what if. They've been doing a great job of just staying in the moment. That's why I think our offense has been so good. They're just not worried about, it's why I think Carly's finally going the way she can go. She's just like put the results off to the side and just said, just do damage. Just hit the ball hard. She had no hits here today. This is what's good. Rose and Carly had no hits here today, but this is who this team has been. We just get it from Amanda and Claire and Aubrey Jones and Audrey and Hoffman, and we just keep getting it from down the wherever it is, right? And so we have young kids like Aubrey Jones that's been dreaming about this kind of stuff. JL has been dreaming about this probably since she was a little kid growing up in Owasso. You know what I mean? This is what it's all about. So I think having both is an advantage. You want some. But I think it's also good. It's good to see the raw emotion of the young kids do it for the first time. I think I looked at those kids first. I wanted to see how they reacted, and then obviously I couldn't wait to see these guys. But these guys here are just calm and cool. You know what I mean? They're like, this is what we did do here.
All good.
Thank you very much.
I get this, Kenny.